Cassie contracted so many UTIs during her S parties with Diddy, her antibacterial meds stopped working, is what she is testifying day 3 of the Diddy S trafficking trial. When asked how she would recover from these S parties, she said she would take things, wanted to feel numb, they would get massages, get IV fluids, and the chef would cook something for them. They said, how often did you take things after the freak-offs? She said, very often. I got urinary tract infections. She was asked if the UTIs were painful. She said, very. Antibacterial medicines didn't even work anymore. They says, how did it feel during the freak-off? She went on to say how she would not advise it because it was burning. And they proceeded to read messages that Cassie sent to Diddy out loud. She allegedly said, I have all these sores on my tongue. I have another UTI. They went on to ask her what sores. She said, friction in my mouth. From what? She says, from gawk gawk. Now, you said another UTI, then the sad face emoji. Cassie went on to say how she was open with Diddy about her contracting UTIs. And went on to say how she often took the blame for things even if they weren't her fault. This is only day 3 of the trial. I'm curious to see how these next few days and next few weeks pan out. I'm curious to know what y'all think about this. Let me know in the comments, y'all.
This is Sean Combs. To the public, he was Puff Daddy, or Diddy, a cultural icon, a businessman, larger than life. But there was another side to him, a side that ran a criminal enterprise. During this trial, you are going to hear about 20 years of the defendant's crimes. But he didn't do it alone. He had an inner circle of bodyguards and high-ranking employees who helped him commit crimes and helped him cover them up. Kidnapping, arson, drugs, sex crimes, bribery, and obstruction. These are just some of the crimes that the defendant and his inner circle committed again and again. You are going to hear about all of them during this trial. The defendant called these encounters by different names over the years. First, freak-offs. Later, wild king nights or hotel nights. Week after week, the defendant directed freak-offs in hotels across the country and sometimes out of the country. At times, the defendant had escorts and the women travel from out of state. So the defendant's staff sometimes organized flights, cars, and hotels. The defendant's businesses paid those expenses. For 20 years, the defendant, with the help of his trusted inner circle, committed crime after crime. That's why we are here today. That's what this case is about. Sean Combs is a complicated man, but this is not a complicated case. This case is about love, jealousy, infidelity, and money. This case is about voluntary adult choices made by capable adults and consensual relationships. The government can say over and over again that this is not about his private sex life. But the evidence will show you that it is. Not one witness will get into this courtroom and will take that witness stand and tell you that they were part of any racketeering influenced corrupt organization act enterprise. And the reason is simple. There was not one. Perhaps they did not always show love to one another the way you would with your partner, but they were in a relationship and she was not being trafficked. This assault happened almost 10 years ago on March 5th of 2016. But I want to start by saying 2 things. That video shows domestic violence, not sex trafficking. Sean Combs has a bad temper. He sometimes gets so angry or so jealous that he is out of control. But he is not charged with being mean. He is not charged with being a jerk. He's charged with running a racketeering enterprise. Jane is also older than Cassie was when she started dating him. She is a capable, strong adult woman. She agreed, and they went to a private hotel room. Again, like a consensual threesome. And Combs would watch. We are telling you right now that he is physical, that he is a drug user, and I'm telling you he had a bit of a different sex life. Is that a federal crime? When you hear from the witnesses who testify here who will tell you they were victimized, and you ask yourself, what is their motive? For many of them, the answer is simple: money. We will not shy away from the things Mr. Combs did, but we will not own the things he did not do.
Diddy's reaction when Cassie Ventura walked into court.
So I've been locked in. I've been reading the reports on what's going on in this federal trial with Diddy. And y'all, Day 2 was even wilder. So Cassie took the stand, and you know she's pregnant. She's 8 months pregnant, so her belly out there hanging. They said she was calm, but she was ready to speak her truth. She broke it all down, y'all. Years of control, years of manipulation, and years of pain, as she stated. She said it started with love, but then it turned to freak-offs, as people out here would say it. She said this shit became her job. She was getting flown and passed around like a piece of cake. She said he ordered male escorts to come do that to her, all while he watched and recorded, and it was touching itself, y'all. And she said all in all, while this was happening, she was forced to take things to make her higher than a kite. She said one time it lasted for 4 days straight. She said she was out of her mind, but she wasn't thinking too much of it because the things she was high on a kite on made her not even think about it or feel it. Now listen to this, y'all. The reports say she listed everything that got her higher than a kite. Molly, Special K, GHB, shrooms, and that white girl Hannah Montana. Here's where it get a little bad. She said she wasn't the only one. She said it was more women doing this too, being forced to do it. The way the reports was saying it sounded like she was going through a psychological warfare. She said Diddy would send her to the gym to make sure her body was in shape, and even get a plastic surgeon so she can be perfect. Her body can be perfect for these freak-offs. He wanted her to be top tier. And when she got dressed and everything, she had to send Diddy pictures of how the outfits looked on her so he can approve. That's what she said, and that's what the report said. She said if she told this man no about anything that he wanted her to do, he would then start doing a little blackmail, like, I send these pictures out, I pick these videos out of you, and y'all know what the videos consist of. I gotta go use the bathroom. I'm talking about number 1. But face shot, I Diddy on that. That's what she was doing. Another escort testified and said, yeah, he had to come through, lay the pipe on her while he watched. And it can only happen when he's in there. They said the court even heard that one bill was so high in the hotel room, like it was jacked up. They was doing WWE moves. He was pile driving people in that junk, that they had to fucking remodel the junk. That's how wild they was getting in them freak offs. They say they found weapons in a safe, and you already know 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Like I say, he was trying to get slippery sloped. Per reports, they say when Cassie said she got number 1 doing, the courtroom gasped like, what? You got what? He did what? They did what? She said she even choked on it, y'all. They said once again, some family members walked out after hearing that. They little ears and eyes could not take what was being shown and heard. Listen, I wasn't there. This is just me breaking down what I seen on reports and what people are saying from the courtroom that was there. None of these are my claims. These are just allegations. But if half of this is true, it's crazy. So with all that being said, Diddy lawyers was like, nah, this was all consensual. They said she stayed because she wanted to. They're saying that these stories are twisted, and they're trying to make him seem like he was something that he wasn't. Y'all, day 2 is in the books. This trial is getting wild. I know it's going to get even crazier.
So, I wanted to just touch on staying in the light. Staying in the light is so important. There's so many negative forces and so many things that want to pull you to do something or make you respond or just pull you just down into just that dirty, nasty frequency. Fuck that. Stay in the light. Let's vibrate higher. Trust me. Yeah. Yeah. Get all that sun. shit, I ain't getting out the light. I'm in the light. I am the light.